Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Legendary Difficulty Character Update, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video from the other, like, 75 I've made so far. And this is going to be an explanation of where my character is at and how happy I am with it. So, at this point, let's go through my armor, not my magic, let's go through the armor that I'm using and my plans in the future. So I think I would label my character right now at about 80% complete. So the armor I have is armor that I've found. I have yet to actually craft my own armor. This is glass armor of extreme illusion, and I would have just been using regular glass armor. I haven't focused on enchantments too much because I don't really want to waste grand soul gems when I'm trying to get to 100 enchanting, and I want to put 2 enchantments on armor and have a final set, especially when my eventual goal is to have double enchanted dragon everything everywhere. So I found this. It has illusion spells, cost 22% less to cast. That was just kind of a nice bonus. I did finally get my smithing to where I could improve glass armor, so it is superior. Not that I think it's going to make any difference here on Legendary whatsoever. I have a glass helmet of eminent restoration. Again, just kind of a bonus. I'd be wearing a glass helmet normally. My gold ring is one that I did in fact enchant, and I found that it having sneaking be better is a little bit better than having some of the other stuff that I had before. Now these are boots that I also found, and I could probably enchant better ones by now, and I really should, but for now this is fine because my focus is sneaking, not so much really, not so much taking damage. So anyway, these are leather boots of major sneaking, 25% better. Currently that's better than anything I can enchant. And for necklace, I have a magic resistance necklace that I did enchant, and this is just because I want that to get as high as possible because my main weakness really is magic since I can't run away from that. For my gloves, these are still the shrouded gloves that I had from the beginning, and I will never change these out. I will always be wearing these gloves. This is where backstabs do double damage, which means I can do 30 times the damage with my weapons. Now, speaking of the weapons, since I finally did get my smithing up high enough where I could... Oh, don't do that. Where I could improve weapons, I finally managed to improve the Blade of Woe. So instead of doing 39 damage, it now does 55. So when sneaking, I do whatever 55 times 30 is, which I think is like 6,000 something, or 1,600 something. So I do a lot more damage now than I did before. I also made my Ebony Bow superior. This is kind of just for annoying targets, but ones that are weak to fire, so trolls, undead, and other things. Even though I'm kind of mostly ice wraiths, I'm really using this a lot less now. But the main weapon that I'm really using if I'm not sneaking is Mayhern's Razor, which is also now superior. And this one obviously now does 41 damage, small chance to instantly kill. You don't have to recharge it. Arguably one of the best weapons in the game. Interestingly, with the Blade of Woe, you don't need anything to improve this. As soon as you can improve it, you just improve it. You don't need any gear or anything, or you don't need any supplies. I don't really know what that's about, but something like Mayhern's Razor, I probably won't be able to fully improve until I get 100 smithing, if it can even go any higher than superior. I think that's about it for other stuff. I'm not really using scrolls or potions too often. As for magic, if I go into my active effects here, we can see that I have Shrouded Gloves, so that is what I talked about before, double damage. Claws, which is good for brawling, but this comes with being an Argonian. This comes from my armor. This comes from something, Blessing of Talos. That might be, I don't know what that is. Anyway, this is a spell I use. Resist Disease is really nice because I'm a beast, so I can't get diseased. Now, this is resist magic, so 10% or plus 10 magic resist, which I think should be about 10%. I'm not really sure how that works, but this comes from a perk in the alteration skill tree. Then I have this one, increases magic resistance by 16%, along with the Lord Stone with 25%. So that means I get at least 25 plus 16%, which is like 41% damage or so in magic resistance. And that's really nice because it means that when people start blasting me with spells, it's a lot harder for them to kill me. And my eventual goal is to, like I said before, have double enchanted dragon armor, probably with magic resist and frost and fire resist, so that way I can survive dragons without having to hide behind them. I might be focusing a lot more on getting Magicka fortified too, because of the kind of the crowning of this character, which is the invisibility spell. So invisibility allows me to turn invisible for 30 seconds, and I can cast it. My Magicka regenerates fast enough where I can cast it pretty much at any point before they'll detect me. Now, invisibility works really well with my skills that I've decided to go with. So like I said, smithing and enchanting will eventually be raised up to 100, that just takes time. The ones that I already have at 100, and this is kind of what's making me consider my character about 80% complete, is that I have one-handed at 100, I have sneak at 100, and this one's really important because this gives you 15 times the normal damage if you sneak attack with a dagger, and also this one, crouching stops combat for a moment and forces opponents to search for a target. What this really means is it turns you invisible for a split second. So if you're caught, then I can sneak right away and then turn invisible with a spell, and they can't find me anymore. Pickpocket is at 100. This is really important because it gives me the ability to pickpocket equipped items, which means anybody that I can't pickpocket normally, like chieftains or even Briarhearts, I can pickpocket their armor right off of them and then kill them in one hit extremely easily. Illusion is at 90, and this one's also immensely important because you need this ability for this character. I've now decided you need this. All spells you cast from any school of magic are silent to others. So this is good because it means you can now heal while you're sneaking and they can't find you, and it also means you can cast invisibility and just walk circles around people and they're never going to know that you're there. That's pretty much all that this build needs, besides enchanting and smithing being up at 100. I mean, I'm gonna need dragon armor eventually, just to take as much damage, as little damage as I can. And this one, you're gonna need so you can put 2 enchantments on an item. So let's kind of demonstrate how this works. I don't really know why my computer's lagging so much right now, that's kind of odd. Also, if you haven't noticed, I got rid of Lydia, and I'm now using Karjo, because he's a Khajiit, so am I. So if I'm coming around here with a Blade of Woe, and let's just run around here, let's put on invisibility. If I do this, turn invisible, I am now hidden forever. And this is just awesome. So for 30 seconds, they aren't going to be able to see me. And pretty much when my Magicka starts to recharge like that, I can just cast it again, and then keep doing that, and nobody's ever going to be able to see me. And I'll be demonstrating this a lot better in future videos, where I literally just walk through entire dungeons and everything without any enemy knowing where I am. So the thing about invisibility is that you can't do anything without it going away. So if I were to pickpocket this person, it would go away. If I open a door, it would go away. If I searched anything, it would go away. Part of me kind of wishes it would stay if you would do something as menial as searching a chest, but it does kind of make sense. But it is kind of nice because I can sneak right up behind someone, pickpocket them, and they're still not going to see me because my sneak is still really good. So this is going to go away, and that person's not going to see me, so then I can kill them. See, someone else there saw me. Anyway, so that means in a dungeon, she saw me. Anyway, in a dungeon, I'll be able to kill them, and then go invisible, and then run off. In the event that someone knows where I am, I can just sneak like that when I'm not invisible, and that, because of that 100 sneak perk, that makes me slightly invisible for a split second, and it forces them to look where I was last, and they're not going to know where I am now. So this basically means that I can go through and kill anything without any issue whatsoever. Now the question is still the companion. He detects everybody. Now I've noticed because he's a Khajiit, it seems he's a little bit better at sneaking than Lydia was, but just the fact of having a companion really kind of screws up your whole plan when it comes to sneaking. So I still leave him at the beginning of places I'm going, or oftentimes I'll just send him home and not even have him at all. Thanks to some stamina upgrades and that pickpocketing perk, I have 450 carry weight, which is way more than I need for any one dungeon, and it's kind of nice because I don't have to keep trading stuff back and forth with him. I will eventually get him a bunch of dragon armor and enchant the crap out of that too. He's got Ysgrimmar shield, which just gives him some more health and all that. Orcish armor on. I don't think any of it's enchanted. He's just kind of good at being a tank. So that's about 10 minutes. I didn't expect this video to take this long, but this is about my 80% character completion. I'll consider it at 100% when both of these are at skill level 100, and I'm wearing full-blown dragon armor. And I will make another video for that when I consider the character itself finished. Now, I still have like 10 quintillion quests and quest lines to do. So this comes with playing on Legendary, is that your character is finished long before your quests are. And I kind of think that's a good thing, because at this point I'm feeling pretty dang overpowered, and I love that. I love how all that effort I put in is finally starting to pay off, and I think it's really going to end up making the game a lot more fun, because there's something in games where you spend a lot of time and then you get to a point where you just feel like some kind of in-game god that makes it that much more fun, because you've made the effort, now you're getting the reward, and you don't really have to worry about trying as hard. And on something like an easier difficulty, it just takes so much longer to get all your skills up, where that's, by the time you get to that point, you've pretty much exhausted all the quests and everything to do. But at this point in Legendary, even though I'm 60 hours into this game now, I still have a ton of places I have to go. I haven't even done Dragonborn, I haven't even built my first house, I haven't even gone to Dawnguard or anything, so there's a lot to do, and I think I'm going to have a lot more fun as time goes on. The only downside is it might be a little bit boring to watch, because I'm pretty sure that my sneaking and all of that's going to be exactly the same. Clearing dungeons is just going to be exactly the same from now on, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'll run into new challenges I haven't anticipated, and I have yet to kill a dragon priest. That'll really be the ultimate test for this character, I think, is how easy can dragon priests and forced bosses die. So that'll be it for this video. I rambled on for a pretty long time, about 12 minutes. That was a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I will see you in the next video when I resume normal scheduling for this game, and also eventually, probably pretty soon actually, I should have a 100% character completion video up. See you next time.